Welcome to Talk Calcio, everyone. Ciao ragazzi, and happy Friday all. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about the latest developments of what's happening with the Italian FA. There was some news last night from the FIGC, of course, the governing body of Italian football. Now, they have stated yesterday that there is going to be no official president for the next 6 months. They're going to be under control of commissioners. Roberto Mancini is the man who will oversee everything until they get their new structure, the new president. It may be them who appoint the new Azzurri national manager. Also on the subject, of course, Carlo Ancelotti the other day ruled out and said until the FIGC has sorted itself out, he is not interested in the Italian job. So I'll repeat, Ancelotti is not interested in the Azzurri job until a new FIGC council structure is put in place. So that doesn't look like if it's going to be 6 months. I mean, we're not going to the World Cup as we know, so maybe we have got all the time in the world to get it right and start from scratch. But he is not interested in the job, Ancelotti. Temporary assistant who's in charge of the FIGC, now of course former AC Milan legend Alessandro Costacurta. Now he was quoted as saying yesterday he believes Roberto Mancini is the favourite for the Italian job. Of course, Mancini, having managed Lazio, Inter Milan, Galatasaray, of course, won the Premier League with Manchester City. He is currently at Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia. It's made, as Mancini does, he's a man who wears his heart on his sleeves, full of passion. He's made no secret how he's not really enjoying life in Russian football, to put it politely. So we believe that Mancini is, so say, the favourite for the Italian job. Of course, Italy have friendlies in March against Argentina, of course, at Manchester City's Etihad Arena. And then they play England, the Three Lions, at Wembley just days later. Now, obviously, it's believed that Luigi Di Biagio was going to be in temporary charge. However, they then said yesterday that is premature. So we're not really any closer or any further from getting a new Italian coach. But what we do know is that we will not have a new president for at least 6 months. So it sounds like there is some sort of reshuffle. At the end of it, it takes as long as it takes. If this sorts out the Italian game once and for all and the national team, so be it. I'm sure, none of us will argue if we see the results from it. So that's on the story. So the national job, Ancelotti not interested. Mancini now looks like a favourite for the Italian job. So from the Azzurri and the Italian FA to a man who always gives us his views and never hesitates, a certain Mr. Silvio Berlusconi. Of course, we know as Italian Prime Minister, was the president of AC Milan for 30 years. Well, despite obviously selling the club to the Chinese in April, he has come out once again in being very critical of the way the Rossoneri play. I quote here, he said, he watched the game against Lazio the other night. It wasn't bad. However, he said the formation we used for 30 years when we won unprecedented trophies must be reused again. For those who don't know, he's referring to playing 2 strikers. Now, this isn't the first time he's come out and criticised Milan coaches, even in his time during his presidency. It's fair to say Berlusconi's not a fan of 1 striker up front. Of course, there were times when he said it when Ancelotti was coach about having played 2 strikers. I think he even said it when Leonardo, Filippo Inzaghi, and even Clarence Seedorf. He's very critical of teams that play 1 striker. He sees it as negative. He believes 2 is the reason why Milan, the Rossoneri, won all those trophies in his 30 years as presidency. He come out and said, 1 striker is the default of this Milan side. I said this, but I wasn't listened to. I'm sure many have heard what Berlusconi's said, so whether they take it on board is another matter. But once again, he's come out and criticising Rino Gattuso, saying he should play 2 strikers, not for the first time. He's also come out in criticism of Roma president Jim Pallotta, of course the Italian-American who's been taking some criticism from Roma fans as well as general manager Monchi, due to the recruitment of players, the way the club is run, the sell of key players and lack of recruitment, and some say lack of ambition. Berlusconi's exact words here, he says, a president must be like a father or a big brother, he said when asked about Jim Pallotta on the radio the other day. He said when he was Rossoneri president, he tried to be there for every match. He would go in the dressing room before the game. He would tell the team how many goals he wanted them to win by. Now, given the fact that Jim Pallotta's popularity with Roma isn't very high right now, of course, Silvio Berlusconi, we know what Milan achieved during his time as president. So, the club were in the 2nd division just 4 years earlier, found guilty of a match-fixing scandal. In the 70s and 80s, there was very little to cheer about the Rossoneri. That transformed when Berlusconi come in. So if Jim Pallotta's listening, or if he's heard Berlusconi's words, which I'm sort of sure he has, Might be worth listening to if he wants to be more popular with the Giallorossi fans in the capital city. And of course, maybe you might want to listen to Berlusconi in terms of how to build a club. We will see there. But tell us what you think. Don't forget to like, comment below. Is Berlusconi right? Should he mind his own business? Should Jim Pallotta listen to him? Let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe. Talk Calcio TV. Next episode, we're going to bring you round 23, all the fixtures this weekend, all the build-up and the preview, and give our predictions. So we'll speak to you on the next episode shortly. Arrivederci.